So what we've done so far is we've got their banjos playing. We're starting to get their hands in good position. And we've had them hopefully take home the beginning banjo warm-up series and practice with it 20 minutes a day doing the 7-note roll. Now the reason you don't want them sitting in their bedroom doing the 7-note roll, you want to have control of how fast they're playing it, all right? And so what this DVD does, it starts them slow, and then it just ever so slightly increases. So it doesn't take big jumps, all right? This is very important, is this roll thing. Okay, now, I guess I'll say this now, but essentially when you play banjo, there are 8 different things, 4 things with your right hand, which is the forward roll, which is thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. The backward roll, which is backwards, so in other words, the forward roll is going this way, and you can start on any finger. The backward roll is just going backwards, okay? So that's going... All right, now, you know, the forward and backward roll is just a combination of these two, so I'm not counting that as another thing. Then you have an alternating thumb roll, where you're using the thumb, then the index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. So you're going thumb, index, thumb, middle. Okay, we have that. And then we have a pinch. All right. Now on the left hand, you have a hammer on. Okay. And since this isn't necessary, this is more to answer a question, and this is not necessarily a teaching video. If you want to teach yourself, really you need to get this warm-up series and the banjo primer. So anyway, that's a hammer on. Slide. So you're basically playing the string once, but getting 2 sounds. Then you have a pull-off. And then you have a choke where you're going, okay? That's it. That's it. There's nothing else, okay? So if you think about it, if you were to isolate each of these things, such as in the 7-note roll, okay, so very quickly, when you use the banjo primer, the first song is Boil 'em Cabbage Down. It uses a forward and backward roll. 3, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, now there's another thing, is the left hand also makes chords, okay? So in the case of Boil 'em Cabbage Down, the primer, it goes, then you do a C chord. You'll notice forward and backward roll. C, G, D7. Now if you were to rewind this, you'll notice that my right hand is playing the same pattern. Okay, so then we go to Shady Grove, where we're doing an alternating, we're doing a hammer on. See, and once again, if you look at the book and watch the DVD, you'll notice. I think that's something like what it is. Then the third song is a forward and backward roll in Worried Man Blues. And so on and so forth. And then the 5th break actually is Cripple Creek, which is the standard. So in this case, you're using a slide. Then you do forward roll. Okay, so what's the point of all this? The point is that I said there are 8 things. There are actually 9 because you're making chords with the left hand. there are 8 things, and if you can master each one by drilling it over and over and over again, then when you start playing songs, your playing will be in time, it'll be clear, you'll have appropriate speed, that kind of thing. Okay, so so you have these 8 things. So as you notice what we do, we start out playing rhythm to songs. Okay? Now you're going to do that about 90% of the time when you're playing the banjo. Okay. Then we have learning your solos. All right? Learning solos and learning to play roles against the singer, or backup if you want to call it that, are 2 totally different things. They have nothing to do with each other, okay? So, making the shift, I just went through the Banjo Primer. So the Banjo Primer book is for teaching solos, all right? Now, if you do the 7-note roll and practice that a lot, when you get to this book, it'll be a lot easier, all right? And once you get past the 6 songs, as I said earlier, the first 6 arrangements, then it goes into more songs. Now, once you get into the longer songs, which is up the neck breaks, down the neck breaks, chokes, and all that, that particular part is not sequential, okay? That's just songs, all right? But the first 6 are, in fact, sequential. So what this does is breaks each song into exercises, plays with the DVD, with the tab on the DVD, each of the exercises at 3 different speeds. Then you take these exercises and they become the solo, okay? Once you've mastered the solo and can play it at 50 beats a minute, then you go to the jam-along CDs, which there are actually 2 CDs. This book only has 1. But, and they play each of these breaks at 5 different speeds with a full band, okay? As I say, it's taken 40 years to kind of put this thing together where all the parts work together, okay? Okay, so that's the Banjo Primer book. So, so what's happening here? Okay, so you're going to notice that if you have 5 people, that there's probably going to be one person there that's pretty musical. Maybe they played guitar. Maybe they played banjo before. Maybe they're a direct descendant of Beethoven, whatever. And you can hand them that book, and they can work on their own. They can go home, and because it's sequential, they can work on that by themselves. Now, even if they're a musical genius, they may have hand problems. Remember, the banjo finger, when you play banjo, you're moving your fingers at least twice as fast as when you do, you know, fingerstyle guitar. I mean, that's about it. Whereas top speed on banjos, or top speed on fingerstyle guitar. Okay, so that's why I keep going back to that. All right, so so that discusses the Banjo Primer and how that's for songs. Okay, so that's this one, and then I'll do a wrap up and just mention a couple other things as they come to my mind.